Ja, ich bin der Thomas und heute freue ich mich auf ein sehr besonderes Interview, nahezu eine Weltpremiere, nämlich auf das Gespräch mit und die Vorstellung von Mr. Wind, einem der stärksten energetischen Fernheiler, ja ein Wikingerheiler aus Nordnorwegen und dem Gründer von Viking Power Healing. Neben der Fernheilung, die Mr. Wind bisher anbietet, wird es auch sehr bald Präsenzseminare im deutschsprachigen Raum geben und umso spannender wird es heute, mehr darüber zu erfahren. Aber erstmal, Mr. Wind, herzlich willkommen. Dear Mr. Wind, a warm welcome from my side. My pleasure to have you here.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Super. Ja, wie ihr hört, wir werden das Interview heute auf Englisch führen. Und wer auch dem Podcast ja regelmäßig folgt, wenn du schon länger dabei bist bei dem Podcast, dann wirst du auch schon mal über Viking Power Healing gestoßen sein. Denn ich habe im Herbst 2022 mit der Greta aus dem Team von Mr. Wind gesprochen, wo wir das Viking Power Healing schon mal vorgestellt haben. Und wir hatten auch mal ein Webinar dazu über das Thema Heilung und was dort passiert. Also wer das noch nicht gesehen hat, schaut es euch nochmal an. Das ist ein ganz cooler Hintergrund für dieses Interview. Ja, und heute endlich live und im Gespräch persönlich der Gründer von Viking Power Healing, Mr. Wind. Ich werde jetzt zu Englisch wechseln und wir fangen das Interview an. Und ich bin sehr gespannt drauf. Das ist auch mein erstes Interview auf Englisch, aber es ist überhaupt kein Problem. Und es wird mal was anderes. Wind, I would like to start with one question. What is about the name Mr. Wind? Why do you call yourself like this?
It's a very personal question. I like personal questions, by the way. One of the reasons is because nobody say my name perfectly right. So I found out that also because it's every name wherever it comes from in different countries, it's very difficult because we don't have the consonants and vocals to be able to understand, to be able to say the name perfect. So I found out that a more easy way to say it, everybody say it perfect, and remember it's like a wind. To say it, my name, like a wind. I have more vocals in my name originally from where I come from, but wind everybody can say, and it's easy to remember. When you think about the wind, it's also related to my ability to do distance healing. It's like a wind flying over the houses and the mountains and the nature, the towns. So it's a good association. I can give you more reasons, but then I can talk for maybe 1 hour about just why I choose to say wind. It's actually my name, Wind. I just have some more vocals, but it's a shortening of my name for different purposes. I did it.
All right. It's very interesting. Thanks for sharing this with us. And I like this analogy, like you said, it's like the wind, like the healing coming through like a wind. Yeah. So you're from North Norway, and I would like to ask you, how did you grow up as a child there? And when was the first time you recognized that you're different, that you have the specific healing capabilities which others don't have?
I discovered it very early in my life. I was a baby, actually. And I remember almost everything from all my life. I had an amazing consciousness already as a child. I observed the world more like an adult, a grown person is observing the world quietly, peacefully. And I observed myself as a human, and I asked myself, why did I land here? Why did I come here? And who are these people around me? I had questions like this, and since I could think and had an ability to think or develop a way of thinking, I asked always deep questions related to those who surrounded me, to myself, and I asked again and again, who am I? And what are we doing here? What's the purpose of being on this planet and so on? And very early in my life, I started to discover that people around me just got healed. They had knee problems, they had neck problems, they had back problems, they had different psychological problems, and suddenly they just got healed. And in the beginning of my life, I understood it was something about me, and I didn't really understand totally what was it about me and how could this happen. It took me time to understand, and that's why I became very much a researcher. So I started to study very early in my life what you normally don't get of studies in the school, like studying of anatomy themas, which you don't find normally in these ages, in early age in the school. And I also learned to study by going inside myself and find the knowledge inside myself by using imagination. Imagination, if you can think with imagination and also find a way of logical way of thinking, you can reach very far to find the knowledge within yourself. We humans, we are also very telepathic. For those people who are wanting to go in telepathy or have an ability to go in telepathy, we can also get information from, let's say, a central memory field, which is at all time energetically around us. We are far more than humans, all of us, and we can get knowledge from this field, from these energy fields. We can say the word fields or energetic memory bases, which is created before our time, which is always there. We just need to connect ourselves to ourselves within ourselves, and we will be in connection with telepathic levels, which has been created long time before humanity, or long time to all these centuries, which has been going with knowledge, which has been created in humanity. Many levels to get knowledge from without going to the books. And I understood after reading a lot of books in my life, also that certain knowledge is not coming through the books. So I had to go within myself and really go in researching. First study, for example, anatomy, where the muscles are connected, how the bones are connected to the muscles, what the inner organs in the understanding of those who have studied this before are having of understanding for how the different organs are functioning, how the brain is functioning, and blah, blah, blah. Get the basic, and from that level, start to find the answers within myself. So I have been studying all my life different creations on this planet, anatomically, and humans anatomically, and equalizing it, studying a lot of themas related to the questions I always ask myself, because I always ask myself questions which was almost impossible to find an answer in the books, or not at all possible. And from that level, you can only go deeper and deeper and deeper. You asked the question also about my childhood.
Yes.
I didn't have a childhood like other children. My mother told me when I was 7 years old, and she told me, "You are not a child. You're an old man. You're an old, wise man in a child body because you don't speak like a child." I never played with toys in my life. I never played with small cars on the sand ground or anything like this. My childhood was work. Every minute of my childhood, from I woke up in the morning, except for the schools, of course, was cutting wood and shuffling and axing wood and just working physically at all time with very heavy work. My father was coming from the older generation where work was everything, and so a child is not really happy for this. But after we become adults, we become very happy for this education. We see how worthwhile it is. So I thank you, my father, for this. Although my father was strict sometimes, I got so much fantastic, let's say, chances when I got grown and wanted to find myself a work and find myself a future, because I could do so much more than what people normally had a problem. They had to go through education to learn all these things. I could do because I got this education with working since I was just 3-4 years old. When I was 4 years old, my father, he thrown an axe to me and he said, "Cut wood, boy." And I took the axe and I said, "Nothing." I started to cut wood. He didn't educate me. And he just said, "Cut wood." And the axe was sharp. And this is our education as Vikings. We get tools in our hand, and these sharp tools we have to learn. And we learn by understanding, by doing it. It's a tough world, but this is how we are as Vikings. We are educated. In my generation, anyway. I don't know the new generation.
Okay, very interesting. Thanks for sharing this. So when was the time when you saw, like you said, you have this healing capabilities, you recognized that just being present, people will benefit from this. And then how did you get the idea to start the Viking power healing? Like to make it accessible for more people, for a wider audience?
Very early in life, I understood that I can help many people at the same time, because they naturally got healed without me doing anything, without me focusing about healing. It just happened. And then later, my mother said to me, I should sooner or later go out in the world and heal people. And I said to her, yes, but you know what? There is something called self-responsibility. There is a reason why people are getting sick. And later on, and she said, yes, I agree. So maybe you should go the conscious way, which is your way. And I said, yes, consciousness and self-development and psychological themes related to, in combination with the healing, is what I found early in life to be my path. So I've been working with this let's say, personally, to educate myself, to prepare myself for the world, to develop myself. And with this enormous interest I had to develop myself, people discovered that more and more, people around me, and they start to ask me questions. And yeah, it became more and more people who want to be healed and to know about these things. And they wanted me actually to work as a therapist, that I am sitting in front of one person at a time and explaining. But I did it in the beginning. But after a while, I said to all these people, you know what? I don't like to be a therapist for individuals. I am massive. So if you want something from me, then collect yourself, talk to each other, make a group, and ask me to come, and I will come when time is in. So when you are 20, 30, 50, hundreds of people, it's okay, I come. But don't ask me to sit in front of one person, because what I am doing is for everybody. And I did it very early in life. After a while, some years, then I started to get helpers, people who help me sometimes. And like 12 years ago, I met a girl and I said to her, you know what? I want to create a team. So around about 12 years, I've been creating a team with different team members from different countries. And most of them are from different countries. So we are very international. And all of them have special abilities. And they have special education, self-education, self-teached, or they have been practicing something from very early in life. So they are good at something. Like I was good to work on the farm and on the sea and so on, and in the nature and so on. one of them exercised climbing since very early age. Another one exercised dancing since 4 years old, 5 times, 6 times a week. So they have been practicing very hard, different professions and different styles, lifestyle, and this makes it more easy to be a team member because we are having specialties which can be combined to help people in a better way than if I am alone, to say it like this. And we are open for new team members as well, I have to say. And it doesn't need to be that people are specialized or anything like this. It's just, yeah, we see who can fit in and be a part of our team. And we think that anybody can be a part of our team just by having the interest for it. Everybody can do something for another person, for the world. And I am here to do something for the world. I was born to do something for the world. And although I am very much a nature person who likes to be alone in the nature, I was growing up in the wilderness in the north of Norway, where there was no people around, only me. And when you go in the wilderness in the north of Norway and Finland and Russia, well, you can go for 1 year and nobody finds you. So it's so big areas. And I was growing up with this lifestyle. I always come back to it. And this is my life, what I really want. Nevertheless, I always understood I have a power to help people in the world. So I gave myself to this. And that's what I'm very much doing now. And now I decided, or actually for some years ago, okay, I go international and I will try to reach as many as possible because this energy can reach thousands of people in the same time.
Yes, very nice. Thank you. Before we go more into details of your healing, like what you're offering, how it works, I would like to ask you something. And why do we need to heal? Why aren't we healed? I mean, we are born here on this earth. We have this, let's say, spark from the divine source, right? We all have this light within us. So what happens that suddenly we need to heal and we are not just healed by ourselves?
I can give you many answers for this because if
just a few.
Yes, we can target certain answers. If we say, if you look at the nature and you see the wild creations, the wild animals, the wild fish, everything which is wild living out there in the nature, in harmony with the nature, we can see that everything is perfect from birth to death. Mm-hmm. Everything is just perfect. The bodies, which is getting weak, they will fall off and they cannot follow the rest of the tribe, or they cannot be in the nature. They will disappear. They are too weak. In the human world, because they follow the nature, the body will always be strong the whole life. And there is no aging in the nature. We can see that a lion can be stiff in the last half year of his life because it gets sick because of sickness. But we don't see that any wild animals are really getting old or have aging symptoms like we are having aging symptoms. In the human world, because we are trying to fit, we are forced to fit into society from birth. We are going into a lifestyle where we are, let's say, we have an inner force. We have different inner forces, and these inner forces, they will be active in the wrong way in society, within ourselves. And they go in chaos. The brain, with these forces within ourselves, go in chaos. And the body, as a result of this, is getting weaker. So weak that certain, let's say, lifestyle sicknesses reach to integrate our body and make us even more weaker. So thousands of lifestyle sicknesses has underlying reasons why we are, as humans, getting sick. So let's say it like this: thousands of sicknesses, lifestyle sicknesses, has a reason, underlying reason, and more underlying reasons. One of them is too much activation of fight and flight reaction in our society. We are actually activating the reptile brain part far more than animals in the wilderness are doing with our lifestyle. So humans are in, let's say, like this fight and flight reaction, if you take that as a term. The animals are activating the fight and flight reaction as an awakening and of the inner power to understand what is dangerous, and or they have to go through, and let's say, an awakening and an education to what's dangerous, and everything what is dangerous will be dangerous the rest of the life in a projective, reflexive way, that they will have reactions in the body, which is making them to be stronger and to be flying away from the danger and to fight the danger. We, as humans, come from a nature which is very dangerous, with predators everywhere. We have this inner force, but this inner force, fight and flight reaction, doesn't see a difference between living in society and living in the nature. As a result of this, because we have a society with a lot of control, discipline, we have a lot of fear levels and so on. For certain reasons, many reasons actually, the fight and flight reaction is activated in behavioral, aggressive way, through irritation, behavior, in a behaving of irritation, frustration, angst, fear, spontaneous angst, Hemmungen, skepsis, a lot of thoughts will be created, and all this is much more will be activating the fight and flight reaction. And we mirror and it will be projected. This fight and flight reaction will be projected to thousands of different themes we are going into in society. It means that we will look at life more negative than positive. The inner force, what we are born with, inner happiness and inner peace, will more and more disappear through that we are mirroring and we are copying the world. And in the world, there is always so that those who are, let's say, leading us, those who are the bosses in our societies, are always having a problem they want us to solve, or them to solve, in order to find a control over society so they can be the leaders. In all levels, in all societies, wherever we are coming from, we always target the problems, and we see them as a problem. And we are, as a result of this, activating a negative view or observation of this problem, going into the problem with a negative view, because we are activating too much fight and flight reaction. But the problem with fight and flight reaction activation is that all the muscles in the body will be activated as well, in that thousands of electric kilometer with nerve streams, let's say it like this, all the muscles in the body will be activated when you have a fight or flight reaction, in the way that they will tension or be ready for flying away or to fight. As a result of this, when we behave in aggression or in irritation, frustration, fear or angst or anything like this, then as a result of that, fight and flight reaction is activating all the muscle in its nature, then all the muscles will be also activated in tensioning, and too much tensioning, when we behave. And all the muscles, when they are, or most of the muscles, all the muscles, after a while, all the muscles in the body. After a while, the natural tonus in the muscle will be lost. There should be a tensioning in all the muscles in the nature. That's why we can keep ourselves alive. I mean, why a body is alive, there's something called tensioning, tonus in the body. This will be lost after a while, and a muscle cancer will be created. It means that all the muscles, or most of the muscles in the body, will have too much tensioning in itself. And this means that when all the muscles are tensed, then they will have a power of pressing down whatever power in the body, whatever power we are born with, it will press down. So we say in German, unterdrücken the Kraft. So all the muscles will then, because it's over 100 muscles, 150 muscles we can control in the body, and all these muscles will have an unterdrückende Kraft, and pressing down of all the craft we naturally are born with. So when we get a fight and flight reaction, we also get, also the muscles will press down even the fight and flight reaction and press down our abilities, our happiness, inner peace, our born power, the talents, even talents we are born with can be pressed down. Everything. And everything. This muscle cancer, which is created in the body, is unfortunately not so much the doctors can do anything with, because it's control of the brain. After a while, when we have been activating too much fight or flight reaction, and also naturally this tensioning in the muscles, then the brain will do it by itself, because every contraction which is happening, coordinated contractions which we do over a certain time, every activation of fight and flight reaction we are creating in ourselves will be automatically go on an automatic level, because the brain is learning this, and it will do it by itself. And it means after a while we will be controlled from an inner power which is completely wrong, completely false, and making us to project life in a completely wrong way. After a while, mood changes, mind changes, mood changes, coldness, and so on will arrive to the mind, and inner happiness, and what we are born with of peace, happiness, joy will more and more go away. And we also will, of course, already in 20s start to create so-called stiffness, aging symptoms, which is not natural, which you don't find in the nature at all, and you don't find it in some African tribes as well. They are much softer in the body than most people in the world, these African tribes, because they live in harmony with nature. I also want to say that so far in this interview, I have not been really in shape in the way I want to explain, but now I start to be warm into it, because some days it's difficult to come into so deep terms, and you as a person, I don't know you, you don't know me, and as a result of this, we haven't learned to cooperate. And I find your questions very interesting, by the way. It's really a challenge, your questions. I've never been through an interview so far where I got so triggering questions, and I find it very interesting, very challenging. And I think we need some time to come into a good cooperation where I can be flying. Because normally when I think about this, when I study this, I'm very flying, and I have the words, I have the explanation. But when I'm not used to the one who are asking questions, then sometimes I can go into kind of stand still and wait for the answers to come within my brain. But now I start to be warm to say it like this. And I hope for those people who listen to this, if you send it out to them, that they understand that all powers lays within themselves as well. Not only in those who have been studying it, you have the power within yourself. And we are all different. We are born with certain different levels of power within ourselves. And I will advise everybody to find their own power. I found mine very early in life, and I was just a baby, and I was lucky to have an extreme consciousness. And also because my mother was, she's dead now, but my mother was Christian, and she was always telling me things from the Bible and giving me the deepest wisdom, what Jesus was saying and what she was herself thinking. She was like me. She was a very deep thinker and very happy person, and she could find joy and happiness in everything. And she said that, you know what, all in life is love. And if you can understand this, my son, you will go forward in life where you're supposed to go. And all of us, sooner or later, will end our life on this planet. But we are going to another planet where there is ultimate maximum joy and happiness. So why not have happiness today, here and now, by searching love and happiness? And then she told me about wisdom's words like, when people do something bad to you, forgive them because they don't know what they do. And I said, really? They don't know what they do? And she said, no, Wind, they don't know what to do. Try to find the answers behind this, and your life will be better. So already early in life, I started to forgive and let go of people, no matter. And I started to understand that people are so much in gefängnis or prison with their own mind and body that they cannot sometimes act different than they feel like doing in the moment. So by having a forgiveness and not mirroring people, I never got lost in my mind. I never got lost in anything, not in aggression, not in irritation, not frustration. I got an ability to stop people, of course, with different levels of stopping them when they went too far, when they were too bad, or when they did bad things, or things which was over my limit. But not to get lost in aggression or lost in irritation, frustration, angst, or anything like this, because I was following my mother's word. The wisdom from the Bible, or the wisdom she created herself, and I created my own wisdom as a result of this, and also because I was conscious. And I created my life to be very beautiful, although my childhood was no playing station. It was just work. And when I left home, I was 14 years old. My parents didn't think that I would survive in cold winter, running from home and doing my things, but I had a need to go. I knew that I had to go. There was no doubt. And I didn't return to them before many years after. But then as a grown man, and I knew I had been getting what I wanted. And I always, since I was a child, if I want something, if I feel that this is the right thing I should do, then I do it. And I don't let anything limit my actions. And now I feel the time is in to reach the world, and I'm ready for that. And I'm very powerful behind my words as well. There is no promises in healing. By the way, healing is not what people think it is. You don't need to be sick to be healed. You don't need to be sick at all to be healed. So you asked, why should we think about healing and why should we be healed? And I say, the body is too weak because of too much activation of fight and flight reaction. And as a result of this, when you get a fight and flight reaction, then you also, all the muscles in the fight and flight reaction all the muscles we can control ourselves will be in activation. They will be in full activation. So they will be ready to fight and fly away. No matter if we are in society and there is no danger like it is in the nature, they will be ready to have full action. As a result of this, when we behave, we activate fight and flight reaction. And when we behave in irritation, frustration, fears, angst, doubting, zweifel, whatever, which is negative or which is on self-defense level, then also the fight and flight reaction will be activated. And all the muscles we can control in the body will also be activated. But there is no enemy. There is nobody who want to hit you or do something bad in our society, except for certain, very rare situations. So we behave, and through behaving, it's unnatural for even humans to, in the nature of humans, it's unnatural for the human to behave in irritation, in activation of fight and flight reaction. It's a teached thing. We are copying. We are not supposed to do that. We don't need that. But we are doing it because we have learned it. And as a result of this, then all the muscles, most of the muscles will be more and more tensed. And we do it so much in the activation of fight and flight reaction and the natural fact that the muscles are tensing, all the muscles are tensing because the brain go in chaos when we behave. There is no enemy. So there is no enemy. When there is no enemy, then the muscles are going to tension. All the muscles start to tension. As a result, also as well, that behaving is an expression where we need to tell surroundings, people around us, or ourselves that we have a problem, irritation, frustration, skeptical, and so on. So after a while, the brain learn that it should tension all the muscles and tension it very much and more and more and more. And the muscles become more and more stiff. We lose the muscle tonus, which is natural tensing in the muscles, which is making us to be very soft and beautiful moving. And we get more and more stiff with age. And from that level, the problems start to come. Now I talked about the muscle tensing and the fight and flight reaction as fight and flight reactions as a power. But there is more powers within ourselves which will be totally transformed and more or less pressed down, more or less totally out of balance, or we are never coming into contact with in this life because we simply are putting a lid on these powers within ourselves. And so I've been doing researching all my life why we need healing, why and what to heal. And that is another question. Because if you are thinking about why we need healing, and you should think about what we can heal and what we should heal. And I am healing actually, let's say, so deep that I heal the muscle tensely. And after a while, the natural power, the ur power, the primal power what we are born with will awaken as a result of that. There will be a reduction in fight and flight reaction activation, and as well the tensioning fight and flight reaction activation is creating in all the muscles we can control in the body. And it means that the muscle tensor we create where the tonus is lost and a muscle tensor is created will disappear more and more and more. And the more it disappears, the less we can strangle or to press down emotions, the less the body and the brain will press down emotions, and the more awakening will happen mindly and physically. So it's very normal that in my healing sessions that people are getting extremely soft, like cats, and start to feel they are more like cats or animals than humans. The stiffness goes out of the body. And the stiffness in the muscles, I have to say, is one of the biggest underlying reasons why and the activation of the fight and flight reaction is one of the biggest reasons why the body is getting too weak. And then the integration, let's say the sicknesses start to develop in the body. One of the biggest underlying reasons why the body, let's say, that people are becoming joint problems, prolapses in the back, getting too weak to be able to lift strong and heavy weights, so they get prolapses in the back, getting sleeping problems, senignition, psoriasis, all what the doctors are saying about the sickness is unfortunately not correct. They have good perspectives, the doctors. I agree to a lot. But they find a reason why the sickness or the problem is coming up in the body, the blockage or the symptoms. And they make us to believe this is the reason. And I have been doing researches far deeper than most doctors because I'm working with the underlying reasons much more than I'm working to heal people. And I educate people in the underlying reasons. As well, I am also educating and have team members who educating people to flower the primal power, which is awakening as a result of reduction of fight and flight reaction, activation, and tensioning in the body. So this we do on Thursdays. We have a specialized, educated Hungarian lady who are taking care of the practicing of awakening of the awakening of the primal power, which happens naturally in all my sessions, no matter what healing you go through. Even if you go through you want to heal the knee, you will have an awakening in the primal power within yourself. You will discover your talents, your mental talents, your power, your healing power, your love, your inner happiness. So many people in my workshops, they are suddenly out of nothing after half an hour or just some minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours, getting in contact with an extreme level of inner happiness. They are exploding of inner happiness and writing about this, giving us testimony. And some of them can keep it. Some of them are not able to keep it. And our mission is to help people to keep this power, which is awakening under the healing sessions. And that's why we have put up Thursdays from 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, to help people to practice and to search the inner power, and to activate the inner power, the primal power, getting in contact with it and learn to be one with it, and learn to be one with what we really are born to be. And that's why I also asked myself questions when I was a child. I was very conscious about my inner power, and I look at people and I saw that they were not in contact with the inner power as much as I was. And I was thinking, wow, who are they? What are we? Why do I have this and they don't have it? Already as a small child, I did it. And from that level, I always wanted to help other people to get in contact with themselves. And my mother helped me to get more in contact with myself because she was Christian. And I also have a Christian belief, by the way. And I'm not fanatically Christian. I like to that people have their own belief. I support them in all levels in their own belief. And I like Christianity. I like to go in churches, but mostly alone, where I'm alone, standing in the middle of a church and praying to God and healing people from the highest and cleanest energy in the world, which I define as God. But honestly, who is God? I let it be up to people to understand. But I heal from, it has to be a very holy power. I'm working with holy power and only that.
Okay. Thank you so much for your answers. You already kind of answered my next questions, where I wanted to ask you, why is it so much about the muscles and the muscle tensions? Because this is one of major thing you're offering. And I also joined one of your online workshops with Greta on the Sunday evenings. You have these workshops, and it was about the releasing of muscle tensions, body gesture. So I could really feel also your energy in the session. And what I really liked very much about it is the mix of one part like receiving your energy, your healing energy, and the other part of also doing active body work and press work during the session. So it's not just I'm laying there and some magic hocus pocus happens, for example, but I'm also actively doing something for my body. And I really like this combination. And I would like to ask you for the next question. So when you do the online courses and you do the remote healing, how does it work that you can heal so many people at the same time? How does this work energetically? Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Yes. Always when I get questions like this, I get many answers within myself, and then I have to choose between 20 maybe different answers, because we have to look life in perspective. We cannot only have one answer for everything, every question. And the more answers we find, the more questions we will ask. So if you ask me the same question during 10 days, you will have maybe 100 different answers in different perspectives and deeper and deeper. You also ask a researcher. I'm a healer, correct? And I'm a researcher. It means that I ask questions like Einstein, very deep questions. I try to find answers, and I ask new questions, try to find answers, and it's just going deeper. I exercised for 7 years to be able to explain, and to be able to find more knowledge, to be better to explain. 7 years of my last years, I have been exercising, especially in the morning, up to 3-4 hours, 5 hours, up to 6 hours a day, where I only go in meditation and I find telepathically my answers, or I create the answers by visualization or thinking logical, and sometimes in clean words, to find the correct words to explain in different languages, because I speak more languages. Sometimes I come to a very good level where I'm really, really in shape and can explain, but I need sometimes warm up, where people are asking me triggering question, which is really triggering me. And one lady, I met she started to ask me already in the beginning the triggering questions, and I could just with these questions create many books during the day she was speaking, asking me questions. Your questions I love, I have to say, about distance healing. This so far only a few people have been asking me how is it possible, because normally people are not thinking so much deep levels. Distance healing have been known as long as humans has been on this planet, because it's a craft which is laying within ourselves and outside ourselves. We are in connection with more than ourselves. We are not the healers. A person who say, I am the healer and the only healer who are healing a massive people and a lot of people is not understanding what healing really is. When we go on the humilitation level, or is it humilitation? No. We say in Norway, ydmyk, more lower level mentally, and don't think we are so great. Is that word humiliation? No. We say ydmyk.
It's like more humble, you could say.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. More humble.
How does it energetically work that your energy can heal many people at the same time?
Yeah. Distance healing is what we are saying, having as a name on when the energy are going to more persons. There is no distance in healing. There is no distance. There is also on the planet Earth, there is not any existence of time. Time is a creation humanity have created. An understanding of energy and how energy has a distance is created of humans. But there is no distance. We are all connected. So when we are all connected, of course, there is no difference if we are healing a person from the level of 1 meter or 1,000 meter or 10 kilometer or 1,000 kilometer. We have no distance. We are all one in an energy. When we say that we are the healers who are mass healers, who are healing many people in the same time, and we identify ourselves as the craft, then this would not be correct. That's why I do not identify myself to be the healer. I identify myself to be a part of a craft where I transform the craft to reach humanity through my human body. It means, in a way, I'm the healer, I am not the healer. The craft is healing, and the craft is far more than we are as humans, and we are part of this craft. We will always be a part of this craft. People are always searching proof for in this society, especially the last 100 years, 200 years, they always want to have a proof for the ability, for our healing abilities, because it became the more control society has and want to have control, the less they want to have people are doing hocus pocus or miracles and these things, because it doesn't fit in society so much. We should be robots, and we should do what the society order should be, and follow the rules and follow the norms, and not do so much which belongs to our nature. That's why this with distance healings have been put away more and more, and sometimes it pops up a human like me, who is a mass healer, who can heal thousands of people in the same time. And we are very quiet. We are not saying so much in society. We let the people do the society control be like it is. We pay our taxes. We are doing legal work, and some places we will be accepted, and some places we will not be so accepted, because society control for what they would like to have as a focus in society is more important than and so much important for the economical base for the development, that we will be on the sideline. Nevertheless, we will always exist, and we will always come back. So after I've gone away from this planet, new humans will come, and they will have the power, and it will be new questions related to what is distance healing, how is it possible, and we can go into different believing systems and say that, okay, the reasons is like this and like this, but in a way we will never find the answer as humans, because we can find thousands of answers how is it possible. We can connect it to religion, We can connect it to different religious groups or religions in the world and find understanding there. We can say it's God. We can say it's part of Jesus. We can say it's Buddha power which is living in ourselves. We can say it is because we are all connected in the level that we go to another world after our death. And in this world, we are one with everything and we will feel like one. We are almost living in one body. We can find so much explanations as our fantasy can create that very few people know the real answer. I'm one of those who have done deep researches in how is it possible. I have done extreme researches in how is it possible. And if I should talk about deeper levels of this, I would have to use many, many, many hours. It's a very difficult tema, very deep tema. And even though I have been doing researches, I don't have the answers which can be happily fulfilling human satisfaction to know the answer because there's so many perspectives. It is no answer, it is perspectives. By the way, in any question you ask, especially to a researcher like me, who are researching through learning the basic in anatomy, the basic in astronomy, the basic in how a creation is built up from the cell, from the smallest part of the cells, from the atom level, learning all these basics and be my life, and then to create my own knowledge related to the basic and my own ability to find the knowledge which is growing from these basics, from the fact. We can say basic is the fact of the knowledge. The fact is that, for example, the muscles are connected to different bones in the body, different places in the body, and they have a function. They pull something in the body. That's the fact. So when you learn the fact, and then from that level, you create your own knowledge through telepathic channels or creating knowledge through visualization, searching inside yourself, the knowledge in your own power, or talking to other people, communicating, getting associative knowledge from other people and combining that with your own knowledge. No matter what and where you find the knowledge, there will always be perspectives. You cannot find one answer, because if you find one answer, you block the other answers. In all your questions, I would like to say, I have many, many, many answers. There is not one answer. And that's making the world to be so fantastic, so wonderful, because we can always search for new knowledge, and we can always create new knowledge. We can always create new believing systems, and we can always cooperate to search knowledge. That's why even small children have knowledge grown humans don't have at all. You ask a child, and you might find knowledge you never could even imagine within yourself as a result of that child start to talk consciously to you. That's why we should all know that we all have the wisdom power in ourselves. We should believe in ourselves, create a belief. There is more in every human. And I was lucky. I took a choice as a child to go in within myself and search for this knowledge. And I was very lucky also to be open to the world. I have never been skeptical in my life, ever, never. And I have been going through a lot of difficulties like other people in life, very big challenges, but I never got skeptical. I never got cold. I never got any change in my mood. I have the same attitude to the world at all times. Only in moments where it's necessary to stop people from being bad, in violence or in screaming and all those things, I have my methods to stop them. And it doesn't happen that I need to lose myself. But unfortunately, many people have changes in the mind which should not be there, changes in the body which should not be there. And believe it or not, there is possible to heal it. I even been healing people from epilepsy. One child, for example, I had a 5 years old in Austria had epilepsy. At that time, I was a younger man, and I did not know anything about epilepsy. I only knew that they were moving and they couldn't stop moving, and that was my knowledge. And people asked me if I could travel there. I traveled 400 kilometers. I went there. I met the child. It was I saw the child just a few seconds, minutes, and then I went to the sleeping room. And in the middle of the night or in the daytime, I don't remember. But anyway, I woke up and the father came with the child in, and had to go through 3 hours with epilepsy until the strongest. That child should have died after maybe 10, 12 years old, because they cannot go through all these attacks without. The power will be so weak after a while they will die. This human is now living today. The second time the father came in with the child, I found the key. I made the child to fall asleep, and it woke up after 1 minute. So it took 2 minutes to heal it every time it got the infant. I teach the parents to do this by I open up an energetic field, and I ask the father especially to do this every time the child got an attack. And after, I think, 1 month, it stopped by itself. It was 1 or 2 minutes of shaking in the week, and it was over. And then the child had got some problem with the motoric as well. And I then invited a lady who was specialist in motoric, and I educated her during 2 days to extend her knowledge into motoric, because I'm a specialist. I was a specialist, and I'm a specialist in motoric as well. And but the parents was not ready for this work, so we had to stop that, and we left the child behind us and went out to the world with new knowledge that we could also heal epilepsy in certain levels. I've been healing, let's say or the energy, I've been healing thousands of different unhealable, let's say, sicknesses, which is not at all possible to heal, because people come to a healer as the last station. Normally they come to a healer because nobody else can help them,
right?
And that's where I end up. And when you talk about distance healing, well, there are certain levels we can heal with distance healing, and certain things we need to have to people to come to us, and so we can have a closer look at what is this, because people have other underlying reasons why they are getting sick, why they get problems. We need to study them. As I studied the epilepsy boy, I didn't know about the epilepsy. I had to study what was this, and I studied the child. I didn't study any book. I also studied the humans by looking at them, because I can see far more than, let's say, normal. What is the reasons why a human is getting problems? So I study by looking at the human, and I have ability to look inside the body, to look in the mind, and find the blockages and so on. So this has been helping me a lot to help people. So a lot of problems, sickness, symptoms can be healed over distance extremely much if people cooperate, because this is active healing. It's not a passive healing, it's active healing. So it means that you are actively doing what you were taking part in on Sunday one time.
Yes,
was just one way of healing. I have hundreds of ways of healing people, hundreds of methods I also developed to help people to change mental levels and to change physical level. And also we teach people to get in contact with my energy without me doing anything specific, other than that they send in the pictures to us, and I look at the pictures, I look at what they need and what they would like as choices. But they learn to heal themselves by contacting my energy, and in the same time as I am in distance healing to them directly. So it's an active healing. Sometimes we ask people to lay down and they don't focus at me, and sometimes we ask them to focus at me. No, nevertheless, the healing function, there is no promises, and all people are getting different levels of healing. And when we are talking about different levels of healing, we are talking about their primal power, the awakening of the primal power as a result of that the muscle tensioning will be reduced. And this primal power will then be making the body to heal itself much more. The body will be stronger to heal itself. So it's a combination between the healer's strength of energetic reach in distance healing, and as well the awakening of the primal power, which is healing the body from itself to repair itself. And as a result of the too much activation of the fight or flight reaction, if you think about society, how it's built up and how all our norms is, how many fear levels we have when we go to the school, kindergarten, and child school, the 9 years we have to go to school, and then the 3 years we have to go to specialized school, and the society, there's always these norms. We have to be so careful with what we are doing, so we are not getting problems with other people. We have to do so much to be accepted. So there will be a lot of fear levels. So the brain learned to activate actually fight and flight reaction too much in our society, having these fears. And I'm able actually to also heal fears. I'm a specialist in healing fears. And for that reason, I like to invite people to where I am as a group. Then I ask them to find the fear within themselves by by being consciously where in the body it is. And they hold a hand there. I look at where the fear center is, and I go in with my mind and concentrate about the fear centers, and I delete it. And normally I heal 80 to 90% easily. And the rest I have to use a little bit more work, or sometimes more work, and sometimes a lot more work to heal the rest of the 10%, depending on the character. But I never give up. When I start to heal a person, and if the person don't give up, I don't give up. I'm like that. Let's say, in a way, with whatever I do, I'm a little bit perfectionistic. So I also have an extreme empathy, which I have been keeping since I was a child, because all of us are born empathic. We are born in the highest, unbelievable, with a holy empathy, All of us are born with that. Ask somebody to hypnotize you and to go back in your life where you were a half-year old, even before you were born, and you will find that you are in connection with a higher power, that you are in connection with other lives, you are in connection with the planet Earth, you are in connection with the inner peace, inner happiness, and so much holy empathy that you will create so much happiness. Yes. That you understand that this is the world, how we should be as humans. We should take care of each other. We should be here for each other. We should take care of the animals, although animals are eating each other and killing each other, a wild nature out there in this planet. Yes, it is. We are going into a predatory nature. Still, animals have empathy. Go to a horse when you have problems. Maybe the horse will look you straight in the eyes and heal you on the spot. Animals you can heal. Animals also can heal. I'm also working with animals, by the way. I'm by now working with a horse and healing a horse. Because we have 2 horses on this farm. I am staying now in Hungary. I'm here for a short time in Hungary, and we have 2 horses here on the farm we are given. So anyway, I've been healing dogs, cats. I've been healing, and I got healing from animals as well. So we are all healers, by the way. When we talk about distance healing, you know what? You have an aura. You know about this aura. This is an energy field. Some people can see it. Some people cannot see it. And if you think about, if you have an ability as a human out there, you who listen to me, and you have an ability to see my aura, I invite you to see my aura. Somebody told me, I met another healer, and I had a problem to heal myself with my knee, and I was thinking, wow, this is really difficult. You know what? I go to another healer, and as soon as I came in the room to this healer, he said to me, "Sorry, I don't want to help you." No. And I said to him, "What? I came to you to help you. I can help you, and you can help me." And he said, "No. You know what? You're born to something else. I see your aura. I see aura. I've seen my aura I've seen aura to people for many, many years. And your aura is not really an aura. It's something I never seen in my life. It's so strong that it's like one with the whole planet. I don't understand. I've never seen anything like this before. I'm sorry. I know that you want something in your life. You want something. You are a sport human. Because I did all the sport in my life. I was fanatically doing sport, work hard, but I damaged myself one day because I did too much and I couldn't fix it myself. I went to the healer and he said, there's a reason why you get hurted, because I think you should stop with your sport and go for humanity. You have a mission, man. You're born with something. You're born with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel emotions. I feel cry when I think about this time, what the healer said to me. He said to me, you're born with a power. You should go out there and do what you're born for doing, because nobody is born with something like that without having something they are born to do. And I know you want so much out of this life. You train all the time. I can see it on you. You have a body like a Greek god or something like this, and you are training. I can see it. But you know what? There is something with you, what you have to realize. And still, I didn't go out to the world. Still, I didn't take the choice. I took the choice to help everybody I met. And if there became a lot of people, I said, create yourself in groups and I will go and help you. It's okay. But I do not want to go international and go into different government systems and say, I'm here. I know it will be I knew that I was not ready for this. It would be an ocean of people, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, because I'm a mass healer. And I was thinking, sooner or later, I got to be ready for that. There's no way. So the healer said, you know what? I'm also born with a certain power, and I didn't realize it before later in my life. I'm not like you, far away, but I was a sport human. And one day, I discovered that my arm was paralyzed. I couldn't move my arm. Then my other arm started to paralyze itself. Then my feet. And after a while, I had room to walk. And over a time of half year, 1 year, I had so much symptoms in my body that I became very, very sick. Suddenly, I could not move at all, he said to me, this man. And suddenly, I gave up. I totally gave up. And I said to myself, I give up. I don't want to fight against this anymore. There is something within myself. I have to give up. I will give up. I promise to give up. And he was screaming that out. In the same moment, he was totally paralyzed. He couldn't move at all. And he woke up the day after with a power of being able to heal people and more people in the same time, like me. And he said to me, you have a power above my power, above anybody I have seen. You have something. And you know what? I have experienced. It's very difficult to combine all what you want to do in this life and the missions you're born to do, or let's say the purpose of you coming to this planet with your energy, where you're born to do something. Another power, a power we are connected to, want you to do. Nobody's born with a power like this without having a purpose to do something out there in the world. And I said to him, you know what? I know all these things, but wherever I walk in the street, people are getting healed. Yes, he said, I know. I can sense it on myself now, because you are my healer now. You come to me with the problem, but actually I'm getting healed of you. So I don't want to heal you. I'm sorry. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It all what you have to go through in life to give up, like I had to give up. You have to face that. And I said to him, you know what? We are in the same boat. I know what you're saying. But although I knew, I went out crying. And I never cried so much in my life. Because, I'm feeling the crying right now. And when I think about what I had to take a choice about in order to give myself to this work, what I had to sacrifice of my own personal wishes to do what I needed to do, what I felt I should do, more than the healing and the healing of other people for my own personal life, then I felt like my life was to times getting ruined because I couldn't do certain things. I had to let go. So after a while, I found that combination between what I really wanted to do and how to go out in the world to heal people. It took me more years. still, I worked all these years with traveling to different countries and to heal people.
Mm.
I never stopped. When people asked me to come to Germany, I came. I said, okay, I come, no problem. I was always ready, but not ready to go worldwide like we now are doing, because I know that thousands of people will listen to this, and they will listen to my voice. There will be many of these people will be ready to go into this, and I am ready to do it. It took me more years to be willingly going on television to say like this, or a radio station, although I have been there as well. I was in radio station on international, how do you say, not international, but internet television station,
Yeah.
you can say.
Yeah. So why do you feel like now is the time to get more public?
I know you asked me from a personal level because you have an idea that we are now ready for the world. The world is ready for us, and you are 100% right. And when I extend your question related to your personal wish, because you are the one who asked the question, you are the one who wants this. Without your wish, your personal wish, I wouldn't be here. It has to be a combination between the one who asked the question and those who receive the ability to have this knowledge and this healing. There must be a wish, deep wish from the ones who listen to this and the one who ask questions, to be able to do this. So when we are saying the world is ready for it, and it's created of our own idea, our own meaning, or our own knowledge about the world, or because we observe the world, there's a lot of catastrophes in the world, wars, and the world needs to awaken in order to stop the pollution, stop the craziness into the war situations, be more conscious, taking care of each other. We can find many answers why the world is ready for this. But we can also find real clear answers. We can find really clear answers. Because if we look at the society, we can see that society is very split. We have the politicians who are leading us. We have the doctors and therapists who are doing their part of beautiful work for people. We have the different workers who are specialized in building planes, building electric components, computers, and all these things. All these people who are there in different professions, they are not identified necessarily with what they are doing in the belief that this is all in life. They know there is something more, because we are so much more conscious in our world for the possibilities of what we can do, because we have created something called the internet. We can read an internet about almost everything happening in the world. We are in connection like we never have been in connection, because the world is so small now because of this technology. In order to reach each other, we just have a telephone in the back pocket, and we can reach the whole world with this telephone. We can give the knowledge we want to give this. To give people through this small object we hold in the hand, and almost everybody, have this object in the hand. So through this station we have with ourselves, this new technology we put in our pocket every day. We cannot live without it. We know the possibilities. This is one answer. And also another answer, we see the result of our damages of the nature now. We see the pollution. We see that we are dominated, controlled too much in the system. We are following one or two leaders who say that we are friends with that country and we're not friends with that country, and we shall not like those people, and blah, blah, blah. And they are taking control and taking so much control that they want us to believe the same as they are believing. But we don't believe the same. We agree with a lot of things they are saying, the politicians. Of course, we have to agree when we look at the world. But many levels, we should not only agree. We should see the perspectives, where we should see the world is unfortunately getting so many damages in the way of we handling the world in this political decisions or in the decisions that we are creating, only this belief should be the belief we should create for any sickness in the world to be the truth for ourselves and for the truth for the whole our world. And then we should take only this therapy, only this medicine, and only go this way. All these believing systems we have been creating since we were children of the adult, the grown-up world, we should stay with, look at, but as perspectives, not the truth, but as perspectives. There is no truth. The truth is perspectives. There's so many answers. So don't push away the answers politicians or doctors have been finding. Don't push it away, but accept this as a perspective and find more perspectives. And now today, we see and observe the world, and we see it doesn't really go good out there. We are in a new wave of problems coming up in our century. And if there is something we can do to make people more peaceful, more calm, yes, absolutely. So I have an ability to make people calm. I'll give you an example because we are talking about this. I was in a cafe. It was like a bar cafe or something like this. So people came there to drink a lot of alcohol. And I just took my tea and I looked at people. And then a very aggressive man came up to me. I looked at him and I said, you are very aggressive. And he said, I am so aggressive. I'm so angry. I could hit anybody here. And I said, can I do you a favor? And he said, you can do me any favor. I am open. And I said, I don't ask you a question why you're open, but seriously, you have a mental problem. And he said, yes, I do, but I am so aggressive and I cannot stop it. And I said to him, okay, would you allow me to stop it? And he said, yes. So I just put my finger in his stomach, and within just a few seconds, he was so peaceful that he loved everybody. He wanted to hug everybody. And he said, what did you do with me? And I said to him, I just made you happy. That's all. And he was looking at me like he was looking at a spooky, like in shockwaves was going through his body. Because he said to me, all my life I've been aggressive. How could anybody do this in seconds? Who are you? And I said to him, you know what? Take the gift and hug everybody. Life is like that, and bring love to everybody. Because you go to a bar to make problems, and you have done that. Now you can go to a bar and make happiness and drink your alcohol and be happy, And he said, thank you for your healing. I will remember these words, and thank you for your gift. And I left. I never seen him again. And I've been in a lot of situations like this. So instead of fighting, you can do something else. And many people have the ability to calm down people, because I just say to you that one of the reasons why we get lost in society, one of the biggest underlying reasons actually is not only the muscle tensing, but it is this activation of fight and flight reaction, which is making us to be too mirroring in the way of aggressivity, irritation, frustration, fear, angst, hemmungen, inhibitions. And we are mirroring. If somebody attacks us verbally and they say bad things to us, then it's very easy that we get offended. We feel that we are sinking down in the floor. We cannot control ourselves, and we scream out answer in aggression. If we can stop ourselves doing this, we will not get this negative power within ourselves. So most of the negative power we have been creating in ourselves with the tensing in mental ways, getting cold, getting unnatural, let's say, mood changes or even state of minds, which can bother us. By the way, it's healable, all this. It's healable. All this negative state of minds and attitudes, it's healable. It's possible to heal it out. Actually, I can heal it out when I get the right energetic connection with people. But anyway, this is created very much because of one of the biggest underlying reasons is that we communicate through communication in a wrong way with other people, that we mirror people, copy people in the way they are acting towards us. Acting towards us in the way that they want us to believe what they believe, or acting violently or bad, negative to the world or towards us. And when we don't activate in the same way as them, we act in the way, maybe not like Jesus was doing, putting the other cheek to and let anybody hit us, but just act in a quiet way and decide, even if we feel aggression, don't act don't behave aggressively. Just only in the most extreme situations where we need to scream, stop. Okay, then do it, but try to control ourselves. Then we will not have so much tensioning in the body, not so much fight and flight reaction in the body. It will be reduced so much that the inner power within ourselves will have a natural awakening. So inner power means the primal power we are all born with will have emotions to come back to us and reactivate itself in our cells and body. So we have a chance to become one with it and more find ourselves to be who we really are supposed to be. We are all born with what we are supposed to be, and we just have to fit so much into society. We are thrown in as children. We are thrown into the society without knowing and getting to know, or no education for what we are, who we are, what power live within ourselves. We're just thrown into society and do this and do that. And if we don't do that, well, then we will be restricted and disciplined. And the parents, the teachers, and society is very afraid of a child who is going its own way. No children can go their own way. No children should go their own way. I did it. That's why I never got lost mentally. I have my animalistic power within my body, and I could go the way. But I was forced to work in my childhood. But it didn't stop me from being myself in the primal power. So that's why I say to people who listen to this, if you really want to understand who I am, then come on our sessions and be a part of the energy I'm healing with and from. And we can call it Viking power. We can say it's Ul power, whatever name we have it. I would like to not call it a name. I would like to say we are all one with it. And this is a difference between saying Viking power and a healer who identifies himself to be the healer, or that we are healing within, that we are in a craft we are all standing in, and this power we are healing from. Many answers. To be a Viking, it's like all of us come from different cultures, and some of us have kept our culture. And the Vikings very much in certain places of Norway, Sweden, and even Finland, in Iceland, Denmark, have kept the culture, the power within ourselves in the identification of what we understand is a Viking. And I have fully, 100%, that power within myself. One of the powers is to never give up. Never give up. You go forward and you never stop. You respect people around you. And there is a misunderstanding in the understanding of Vikings, by the way. We are very peaceful. I have never, ever, I have 3 brothers. I have never, ever quarreled with my brothers. How to say strike in Deutsch? Never, ever, niemals quarreled with my brothers. Never raised my voice. We had many times problems like other people, but we deal with it in another way. Vikings is usually very, very peaceful. They just want you to feel good and do everything for you. Most of the people where I come from, they just want to do good for you. So when you come to my country, you come to the north of Norway, you will be surprised how friendly people are. And if you go to other parts of the world, I'm sure you will meet beautiful people as we are, as Vikings. You just have to behave beautiful yourself, and you will meet beautiful people everywhere with different cultures and with unbelievable empathy in all countries in the world. We are not special as Vikings. It's just that every culture have their somehow some differences, and it's not easy to understand this difference. It's not easy for me to make you, Tom, or anybody else to understand what is a Viking power and what is it to be a Viking. It's maybe you will have difficulty to explain yourself, to explain me or other people. What is your German power? What is it to be a German? Yes, so we are just having different cultures, different powers, different. Anyway, we are all humans, and we are the same. There is no differences in to be a human, like animals are the same.
Yeah.
If I can say this, is very important before I forget it. It's the essence of what I really do. You do not need to be sick. You don't need to have mental problems. You don't need to have physical problems. You don't need to have joint problems, prolapse in the back, psoriasis to come to me as a healer, because I'm healing more than just directly the pain. I'm healing the underlying reasons. One of the biggest underlying reasons why, not only one underlying reasons, but more underlying reasons why humanity are becoming sick, while they are opening themselves up for sicknesses, why sicknesses are creating itself to find a place in the body, mentally and physically. And when healing the underlying reasons, the primal power in the body will awaken in you, because we humans, when we go into society, we learn to fit society so much that there happen an awakening of a natural power which should never be awakened in our body in society, and only in emergent situations where there is danger. These powers is blocking our inner power, our power, blocking so much our inner power that the body will be too weak, weaker and weaker. And when it becomes too weak, different symptoms, sicknesses, joint problems, thousands of different sicknesses can appear in the body, which the body should be healing itself. The body should heal itself, and even parasites, bacteria should be able to fight, but it's sometimes too weak because there is an awakening of a natural inner power which should not be awakened at all in any society level. And one of them is fight and flight reactions. Too much. It's healable to reduce the fight and flight reaction. And the tensioning in the body as a result of the fight and flight reaction is activating itself. All the muscles should be activated as well. And so much tensioning will happen when the fight and flight reaction is activating that the natural tonus will disappear and a muscle tensor will be created. And when the muscle tensor is settled in the body more and more, the brain can never relax the muscles anymore to fully relaxation. The brain has no ability anymore to relax the muscles. Almost all the muscles in the body which we can control never will have a chance to go back to fully relaxation. It means that we will forever in all our life move with a muscle tensor, too much tension in the body. It means we are doomed to get knee problems, prolapses, back problems, psoriasis, and all these things. And this theme, I would like you to ask me more about next time you take an interview. That's why I say to you, people out there in the world, I am, let's say, if we say I am, in the identification of what we can look from in the perspective of a personal healing to another person, and in a humanistic understanding of the power of energy. I am a body posture healer. I can heal almost everybody to a perfect body posture. I'm a skin healer. It means that I can heal the skin until it changes so much that you can pull it out from the body. And even if you're strong enough, I have a strong friend, your friend should be able to lift you with one hand, lifting you from the body by holding only in your skin and shaking you, even shaking you, only holding your skin wherever in the body, even in the face. And you shouldn't feel any uncomfortable level. You shouldn't feel any pain. If you look in the website, there is I was lifting a lady. I'm very strong in my body. So I was lifting a lady from the floor, and I hold only on the skin on her body. It means I hold her stomach skin, and I lift it with one hand, this lady. And I think I had a glove on, which is making the grip to be very difficult with a glove. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm a skin healer. Your skin might change to unbelievable levels where you cannot even recognize before and after when you touch the skin, because when the muscles tension, then the skin somehow tension, and it will be changed and look and be 20 years when you come over age of, let's say, 40, it maybe look 20 years older than it should look. It makes you to look older than you should. So during the healing, your face will change. your face should change. So you should look 15, 20 years, 10 years younger, just going through some of my healings. Your body posture should change more and more, and sometimes very fast, even after this first session, to be so perfect as it's never been in your life, because most people have not a correct body posture. I'm also, for example, I healed a girl, and when I touched the skin in the beginning, and when I touched it after, and she touched it in the beginning and she touched it after, we could not recognize the skin. It was not possible to imagine the skin before and after. It was like animalistic skin. We have humans, unfortunately, so much awakening of the, let's say, the different powers which should only be used in emergent situation within ourselves, that the body block itself and collapse, and different organs in the body which is supposed to be unbelievable, much more powerful cells, which is supposed to be on unbelievable self-healing powers, skin, the body posture, the breath, everything should be on so much more powers within ourselves. But unfortunately, because of the activation of this, let's say, the power of emergency power, which should be activated only in emergency, and some other reasons, blockages, let's say it like this, which I can talk about another time, the reduction of the power within the body will be too big. So that's why I say, I can explain it another time. I don't want to extend the time here, but I say I'm a body posture healer, I'm a skin healer, I am a breath healer, I'm a mind healer. It means that you will get more and more peace and happiness within yourself. So there will be awakening meditative state of minds which you're born with. All these powers is your power. It's not my power, it's your power. So I'm just an awakener by taking away the blockages within yourself and awakening your power. It's very important to say. So this point. Yes. So this point is what I now explained. To extend the time a little bit, I want everybody to really understand there is a power within yourself, and there is a power which should not be activated, because activation of these different powers, which is natural, should only be activated in emergency situations. And we're not talking only about fight or flight reaction. It's more powers. They should be activated when there is danger, or activated in the nature in itself, living in the nature, or in only certain circumstances. These powers should not be activated. They block the body when they are too much activated. They can be reduced. And when they are getting reduced, then the powers within humans in the primal power, in hundreds of different primal powers, will have a chance to awaken and to make you to more or less find yourself, to find an other identification within yourself than you have today. And this happens very much on Thursdays. We have put up that day for practicing this, because on Sunday, we awaken that power to primal power, and then we make people to come in contact with it. Thursday, we practice and make people to keep that power. So these 2 days, the Sundays and Thursdays, is in combination. It's very important that you think about it. And when you book sessions, then it's good that you book 3 Sundays in a row, 3 Thursdays in a row. And remember, Vikings, yes, we never give up. When you don't give up, we don't give up. So we are not going to give up. Some people get very fast healing. Some people go slower. But if you see other people are getting more healing than you and faster, then look to them and know that you will and you shall get the same. There is no promise, but it's just you staying with us until you get it. And if you don't get it, I invite you personally to me. And I'm going to say to you, no money between us. I'm going to do it for free. I'm going to make you to get what the other people get. That is a promise. Then I invite you personally to me. Come where I live, and then I will look at you why you don't get healing. Because it's not about me, not about the cosmic power, not about God power, not about the power we are connected to when it comes to healing. That power is the same power at all times. It's about the one who is receiving the healing. There is a blockage in this person that they don't receive the healing. And then we have to find out sometimes why this person is not receiving healing. And sometimes I have to invite that person to me and say, come here, we look at you. And sometimes we make a group that we are extended the possibility of healing. And remember also one thing before we finish. There are certain healings which happen better when you are in the same room as the healer and the team. After May, I will be in the north of Norway, and I will be in the nature. Still, it's possible to reach me, either coming to me or to reach my team members and so on. We are related to your question, why is it so important to heal the world? I am now saying I have done 12 years ago, I took a decision. I am ready to go out to the world. And now we finally are ready. So thank you for your questions. And I say to Tom as well, everybody, thank you for questions. I will give him an applause if it was possible, if this was live for his questions. And we will find better and better communication where we get better interviews, because I needed time to get warm until I became a blah blah machine, and he needed time. He need now time to ask more questions. He know now more what he should ask about, and we are ready for the world. No matter what, we are ready for the world. So thank you, everybody. And I'm ready for live work, live interview as well. Even if it's 100,000 people listening to me in the same time, I'm looking forward to that. If it happens, I am ready for this as well. Any day, anytime.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Wind. And thanks for sharing so much of your knowledge, of what you're doing, of your wisdom. I think it was very inspiring for many people. And for sure, we will do a follow-up with more intense questions, with more deep questions. And yes, everything you mentioned, from the online workshops you have, from the seminars you're planning in Switzerland and Germany, I will put all the links on below the video, so everyone can get informed and get in touch with you. And then I'm looking forward very much for our next talk. And again,